So today I'll be showing you how to assemble one of these and then also how to pop in some of these lovely elements that we have from the matching scenic die sets. So it's very technical to mix and match these as well. You can mix and match these, or you can go for a more wintry theme using the portrait diorama, or a more spring summer theme using the landscape diorama scene builder. Here we have a 5x7 outline die, and then the inside frame we have a 6x4. I did not want these joined together. I wanted the option to separate them, but in order to make my frame I just wanted these sticky taped together, and I know that if I needed to reach for a 5x7 die, they do come individually within the scenic die, so you get one in each scenic die too, so you can just use those ones. And then we have these side pieces here. This is what's going to build up our sides and our layers, this effect here. So we have these notch lines. That means you can cut them down so that you can have it on its side, but if you want it portrait, don't do any trimming down, it's there ready for you. And then we have this beautiful tunnel effect here that you can create. Our popper photo here from Vicky, she has gone all the way back, and it's really stunning, and I will quickly show you later on in the video how to make that effect with these. So let's jump straight in now to assembly. So I have here with the 5x7 die, and then 2 of the frames, and then 4 of the side pieces. And right, so I've just stuck my tape on, just some really skinny tape there, and I've just popped it on one of the sides. So it's basically, we have the valley fold here and the 2 mountains either side. Hopefully you can kind of see where that mountain is. So on this outside edge here I've got my bit of tape. Just do a quick dry run. This is now going to slot there, so we have the tape at the top, and that's going to slide right in there. And then this one here is going to go on the opposite side, so we're going to have to turn that around and then slide that under. And then when this is all folded up, you should have the tape on the top edge. So for these little sections here, we're just going to attach these with glue, and then we'll repeat the same on these frames as well. Okay, so here is our back layer. It should look like that. Move that aside, and then we're going to repeat the same with this one here. Now this last frame doesn't have anything attached to it. It's going to be the last one we pop on the top. Right, so now we have our little layers now ready to go and add our lovely little bits. So I'm going to be working with this one here, which is the portrait diorama woodland scene. There's an absolute ton of dies here, so I'm going to be die cutting these from a mixture of the navy blue cardstock and a lighter blue cardstock, and also some silver glitter cardstock as well to build our layers up. And I'm just going to run them through each colour, and then I'm going to have a massive stack of things to choose from. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside now. I've got all of these goodies here to play with, plus I did the house as well. And if I need to go back to cutting some more bits and bobs out, then I can do. So let's start with the base first. Now, when I was experimenting when I first got this collection, I did start a card here with a moon background. Now this moon here is from the stamp set here. I've just done it with some white heat embossing powder, so it has got a bit of texture. It may be difficult to kind of see that. It's very white under the lights here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that down, and I'm going to use that as my background. Now I did design this to be that way in landscape, but I'm going to have it in portrait, and all of this is going to be mostly covered with trees and things covering it all up, so we should be good there. It's not going to be that noticeable. And then I'm just going to take a little bit off the edge on the other side as well, just so that it fits snugly on the base. And if you want, what I might do it actually is might just go in there with some grey ink. And I've got a little bit of black ink left on this brush, or I could go in with a bit of London fog. So I'm just going to just dab this on just to darken the moon slightly, because the moon does have, you know, a little bit of depth to it. I'm not going to bother masking off around there. I'm just going to be really gentle in where I'm putting the brush. Now that, I think that is all it needs. That has highlighted a lot of the detail there. You can see that a lot better. Let's get this glued down. So I think I'm going to start building my layer right on the base. You can leave this just as it is, but because I'm only going to have this layer and then one more over the top, I want to create a little bit more depth and detail, which means I'm going to work on the actual base. So I've got this house outline here, and if you run this through, you will get the roof, you will get a door, and also the window frames as well. But what I'm going to do is, I still want this sparkly, but I'm going to colour this in with some alcohol pens. Let's choose a colour. I think navy would be quite nice. So I have here my Creative Craft pens. Let's go for Prussian blue. I think that would look good. That is number 69. So it's still going to have a little bit of the sparkle there and that texture. It's just going to be blue. And it's super duper easy just to colour in your glitter cardstock. As long as it's the non-shed kind, you should be good. There we go. And everything else I want silver and sparkly. So let's get those glued down. Here is my cute little house. So let's get this on. I want to get it at the right place. So I'm going to just use this frame because it doesn't have anything attached to it, just as a guide. And I kind of want my house, I want to be able to see the door, so I'm going to pop it there, and I might just put some snow in front as well. So I'm just going to keep that there as a dry thing. It's not attached. I'm just going to add glue now to the house. Well, actually no, I've had a thought. Let's add some dimension here, and I'm going to be using some foam pads here. Oh, I need to get myself another sheet out. These are the Creative Craft product ones. Add my little house here. There we go. Right, so we could possibly add some snow now. So let's do, it's right at the background. So it's probably a good idea just to add a bit of the darker snow. And as we get lighter towards the front, we'll use the silver sparkly stuff. And if you don't know if that looks good or not, you can just pop another one of your frames over the top just to test it out. And if you are wondering about this background, I use 3 colours: Broken China, Prize Ribbon and Faded Jeans. I also want to have a tree behind here, and it's going to be a really dark tree because it's going to be right in the background. So I am having the moon there because we're looking through the trees and the moon is on the other side of the trees. So we'll pop that there. I mean, this would look great just as a card front as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that some of these branches are going over the moon just like so. That always looks really good. I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to trim these edges here where this folds up. Just going to add glue there just to the trunk of the tree. I'm going to leave everything else loose because I kind of want that 3-dimensional look. There we go, and let's snip off the rest. Okay, and there is our first layer done. So this is what it's going to look like now with the next layer going over the top. So let's pop that down. So we're going to start off with one side first. Take off your red tape. Now fold this over so I've just got the outline there of the frame. I'm going to line up the top corner here together to get that all aligned, and then take that down to the other corner before I'm ready to press down properly. And then I can press down. That is our left hand side done. So this does actually open like that, so then we can just do the same on the other side. Again, I'm going to line up the corners. It's easier to hold this bit down flat as you go. Okay, and there is our first layer done. As you can see, that is adding some really nice dimension to our project. So we can now go in with some more trees, and we could probably add a stag here or two, but that kind of gets in the way of the house, so I might just save these for a different project. And as I'm editing this after the launch, I'm filming this before the launch, but I'm editing this after the launch, I'll have some more photos for you from the launch show as well to show you at the end using the stags. So I want to add some snow here, so I'm going for the longer one. This is for using the snow on the long side, but you can trim this down because you will get repeats here if you just keep using the short one. So I kind of want to pop this one, and I want to cover the base of this frame here to kind of break that up, because you're still going to have the frame going around the edges. So let's trim that down. And I'm just going to put that down a little bit lower as well. And that tree trunk is going to tuck in behind this snow here and be attached here along the side. Okay, so before I add any more of these little bits, I'm just going around experimenting. I think I want to get my last frame up here, and then I can finish everything off and add my little finishing touches. I think it'll be easier for me to see it as a whole. So we're just going to take off our backing and pop it together just like we did with our previous layer. Okay, so we have all of our layers on there now. I think that's really lovely. That's going to look great just as it is, not even as a card, just as something on display. So we can now add some more trees here. I might have this one. I'm going to have something going off the edge there, perfectly fine with that. So let's leave that there as a dry run. Let's see what else we can add. I definitely think these stags are just too much for this. I mean, this one might be all right here. Actually, yeah, that one might be okay. Right, so I'm just going to have a fiddle and a play with all of these little bits and bobs there, and then I will be right back to show you what this looks like. Okay, so I think I'm in a good place to stop. What I will do though, as I do with all of my projects, is I'll put this down and I'll come back to it in about an hour's time and just recheck everything just to see if I feel like adding anything else. It's great to have a little bit of a break away from your project just to help you get a fresh mind when you come back to it, because sometimes if there is a bit of a problem, you can kind of see where that is and how to fix it when you come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. So basically I think I might need something here at the top, but I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. And I've also decided this is not going to be a card. This is going to be a home piece, like a home decor piece. I'm going to have this displayed on my bookshelf at Christmas just as it is. So I'm not even going to add a sentiment to this. I'm just going to leave this as a lovely piece of Christmas home decor, and when I fold it away, it's going to fold down nice and flat for storing over Christmas with the rest of my Christmas bits. So this is what it looks like from the top, and the bottom. Now I did say that I was going to show you how to make this tunnel effect here on this card. So let's have a quick look at that. Okay, so I've got my 5x7 and I've got the largest oval and I've cut that out. Now on my next 5x7, put that at the bottom, get the next size down of the oval shape. So we're going to use the big one as our guide, pop that in. Now I am going to leave the first one on there, but you can take that off if you want to. Now run that through your machine. You can use a bit of tape if you want to, and then keep going. So here's the next one, using the second one I did as a template now. Pop that on. And I think these ovals do go a little bit smaller as well. So I'm just using those three, so run that through. Again, just carry on if you just want to go smaller and smaller, and then you can stack all of these together, and that is how you make the tunnel effect. And this looks really great with all of those bits and pieces that we've just played with. Right, so you may have noticed I've got loads of little bits left over, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those in my pouch. I probably have enough now to make another card. Just cut myself some more snow and I'll be good to go. So everything that I've used today is listed down below, and don't forget, if you are a VIP at Craft Stash, you get 10% off your order as well, and there's also bundles of these as well, so do check those out. Again, I've listed those down below. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.